Welcome to the Town of Munster podcast, coming to you from the JED TV studios on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. Now here's your host.
Welcome to the Town of Munster show, and my name is David Nellens, and I'm the councilman from Ward 4, and I'm here as the host at this show, or really where it's a group of us we're going to be talking. And I have two guests today. I have Resource Officer Kevin Cooley, and he is responsible for the activities going on at the middle school.
Correct.
And trying to assist in any way he can, which he does a fine job. And then we have Deputy Chief Damon Johnson.
Hi. Thank you.
And it's been a while since we've had a deputy chief in the police department, but we're happy to have you. Glad that you can be involved.
Thank you.
And we're here at WJOB FM 104.7 and AM 1230. And this is April 8th. Man, the time just goes by. It flies so much. And I wanted to just have a few announcements before we get into the heavy meat of the program. I wanted to announce I brought this poster in, and the Chamber of Commerce in Munster is celebrating 100 years. And you'll see these banners on Ridge Road, and they're posted up on the lights. And everyone that wanted to contribute can buy a banner and have it posted up there. So I brought that in just to show you, not so much for the Nellens family, but I just brought that in. And I think, having that is community involvement. Also, on April 22nd, we are going to be having a community workshop, and this will be at the town hall, and it's designed for the public to come in and tell us what your vision is. We have a consultant that's helping us to gather information and put together a strategic plan for the town, and this is going to be at the town hall from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., Munster Town Hall at Ridge Road there. And it's an open house format. You're invited to come and go anytime between 6 and 8 p.m. It's not like a meeting. It's just a gathering of folks and expressing their ideas or what their concerns are or what we should be looking at for the future to help make Munster better. We want it to remain strong and vibrant, and it needs the input from all the residents. Let's see. We did have a council meeting last night, and it went along very smooth. We approved some bills. We get all that standard thing. We did talk about sidewalks, and I'm just going to throw this out as conversation. In Munster, we have had times where the sidewalk replacement, when the sidewalks are bad and heaved up and broken and we want to have them safe, we have had it where the town has paid 100%, and we've had it where the residents pay half. And the advantage of a 50-50 plan is that we can do twice as many sidewalks. And we identify, there's a list, they're graded and rated so that we know the problem areas. And the sidewalk program, we jump all around the community wherever it's needed. And on the 100% with the town, that does give some relief to the residents. But we do half as much. So presently we're set up with the 50-50 plan, and we've asked the residents to call into Public Works and give them their name and address and get on the list. Now, I think the first list is filled, and the second list they're working on it right now, getting that filled and set up. And I know that the officers, sometimes they get a call where somebody fell, maybe they were on a bike and they had a bad spill, and there's a call put in 911 for assistance and get that set up. And we want to, clearly make sure that our town is in good shape. And, the trees grow and the roots heave up the sidewalk, and next thing you know, you got a mismatch and a tripping problem, and we just don't want that. We are talking about Main Street. We're still working on the design for that, and we've got some discussion coming up with the city or the town of Dyer to review what's going on and to see what we can do to help that project move along. and we've got the train coming. And I know Officer Deputy Chief. I'm not used to that. We had Lieutenant and this and that, but now Deputy Chief Damon. I know you've been out checking the things with the trains, and if you want to comment on that, feel free.
Sure, the train stations come along fantastic. I think they're doing a lot of great work there, and I know that the unit that Kevin's part of, the whole community-oriented policing unit, is going to be out there making sure everybody's safe and feels welcome there. So we're really looking forward to this opportunity that we're going to get with these trains, because it's going to, I think, add a lot to the community.
Now, Munster's going to have 2 stations.
Correct.
There's going to be one station just north of Ridge Road on Manor, and that's pretty well finished up, and they've got the parking lot there. And it's a limited parking lot because that's not considered like a primary station, but it will pick up passengers from there and drop off passengers. And then we have a station that's down at the south end of town, right off of
Right off Main Street in
Columbia there.
So, yeah.
And it's set up, I guess, that there's going to be some parking right as you come in off of Columbia, and then there's an underpass that you drive through, and then there's a large section of parking on the west side. And the station is on the east side of the CSX tracks, and then the main parking is on the west side. And my latest understanding is that sometime August, September, the train will be ready to start running. There's going to be some test runs with the equipment and that, just to make sure the tracks are all lined up and everything is set. They've got the overhead. These trains will be electric, and they'll be much quieter than like a diesel locomotive or that. So you won't have that kind of noise. And you'll just have not even the clickety-clack, because this is all welded rail. Because, probably as a child, you may remember, I do, even as an adult, that the tracks were spliced. So you had click, 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 and now they started welding them so that it's just smooth. But that's exciting to have the train coming. Anyway, let's get into some of the conversation here with Officer Cooley. He's our resource officer there at Wilbur Wright Middle School.
Correct.
How long have you been there? What goes on?
I've been with Wilbur Wright Middle School since October of 2022. Basically, first and foremost, I'm there for the safety of the kids, the staff, make sure that, that it's a safe place for the kids. I want them to come there, and the only thing they have to be concerned with is first of all, learning. Second, having an enjoyable experience with their friends. And if they need any type of, guidance, or even if they just want to come tell me a joke or hear one of my corny dad jokes, that's what I'm there for. It's been a great experience. I'm very happy that the opportunity was presented and I was able to, test and be chosen to take that position, that specialized position at the middle school, because when I thought about what I wanted to bring to the middle school in that position, I'm of course a lot older than the kids that I'm there to take care of, to protect, and I just wanted to show them that my upbringing without social media, there was hardly any internet or anything like that I could blend it with what they're going through, and just show them that it's okay to put the devices down, the social media down, turn off the computer and just talk to each other.
Really?
Yes.
You can get them to put that phone down and the social media, and sometimes you see two children, or adults even, sitting almost side by side, and they're doing this. Yes. They're actually talking to each other through their phones.
Yes, they are. and it's still a process, but, like I said, I get them to, interact with me and try to tell them, hey, when you're sitting at the table with your friends, it's okay to close that laptop and just talk to your friends. Find out what happened, during the weekend, what you're going to do later on in school, if you're going to come to the ball game or the dance or something like that. just
talk
person
openly.
to person.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
absolutely.
Now Kevin's a very humble person. So the middle school is not typically the position that a school resource officer strives for, because it can be difficult because the kids are going through all these different changes and they're forming who they are as a person.
The transition from the elementary schools
can be kind of awkward and difficult at times. So Kevin took this on head on, and he's done a fantastic job, and we couldn't be more thrilled with how good of a job he is, and the school's thrilled. He has brought a lot of experience and knowledge and just background to this position that we couldn't be happier with how the outcome of this. And he interacts with the students just great, and he has little segments he does and stuff like that. So we're very pleased, and he's doing a fantastic job.
I heard some kind of talk about Cooley's Corner.
Yes, sir.
What's that all about?
Well, basically, Cooley's Corner, and thank you, Damon, for your kind words. I appreciate it. Cooley's Corner, it started with the guidance department, the guidance office in the middle school, and it was basically every month, they would select a couple of kids to come and interview me, and they would ask me, various questions. It could be about police work or about personal life. And then recently it's been taken over by one of the staff members and a bunch of the kids, and it's part of Mustang Media. And so,
okay.
Yes, and it's really cool because I get to see the kids. It's basically like they're running a podcast. Or you could even say it's like a TV show, and they interview me. They ask me a couple of questions, and it's like I said, last couple segments. It happens every week. Last couple of segments, one of them was for Women's Month, and they asked me basically, did I have any women in my life that helped me become the man that I am? And I said, most definitely. First my mom, and then my grandmother she raised me, and she was very influential in my life. Of
course.
And then I also had my older aunties and my older cousins, and they all had a part in raising me because I was the baby of the family for so long. So they did a big, huge service to me by teaching me the right way, helping me make good choices, and to be compassionate towards other people. And then they asked me about my time as a police officer, like the police academy. If I had the opportunity to be a police officer again today, would I do it? What it takes to be a police officer. And then they'll ask me around holiday times, what my favorite meal is, who I like to spend time with, and what I like to do. So it's really cool. I really enjoy it.
Well, that's good. You get some interaction with that.
Yes.
Just like to say, in case you're joining us, this is the Town of Munster show, and we're on the WJOB, 1230 AM, 104.7 FM. I have Deputy Chief Damon Johnson, and I have Officer Kevin Cooley, who's the resource officer at the middle school. My name is David Nellens. I'm the councilman from the 4th Ward here at the Town of Munster. And I get the opportunity to host this show, which I really enjoy. I enjoy having folks and guests here. And I like the new arrangement. We've got the desk here, and we've got the couch. I'm sure it's comfortable. I've not had the opportunity to sit on there. Maybe next time I'll sit on the couch and put you over here behind the desk, and we'll see how that goes. Officer Cooley, how many years have you been a police officer?
27 years. I actually celebrated my 27th year this past March on the 9th.
Wow. Well, we certainly appreciate your service in town. I appreciate everything that the officers do to help make our community safe, and it's having that presence. I'll bring this up that we do practice active shooter at the schools. I've been there on, the school's out, and our officers come and they have their procedures, and I want to say that our officers, they're prepared, and they jump right in. It's not like they need someone to blow a whistle and say, all right, we're going to go. No. Deputy Chief, you can maybe enlighten us a little bit on that, yes?
Yes, our officers train regularly on any type of situation, whether it be active shooter or just a regular call for service, such as like maybe someone's sick or injured that we don't know what's going on. So I would say our officers are extremely prepared to deal with anything that might arise, especially around the schools, because that is our highest priority. Obviously, is the schools in this town, because they're very important to us and they're very important to the community, and we want to make sure they're safe.
And I know there's been some situations in town where it's maybe uncertain just exactly what's happening, and the call's put in to lock the schools down.
Correct.
And then Officer Cooley, what's your responsibility when that happens?
Basically, if it's something outside of the school, we want to lock it down. We want to make sure that nobody inside the school leaves and nobody outside comes inside the school. We just want to make sure that we assess the situation, and like we say, the highest priority is to keep the kiddos safe.
And if you have to get the students away from windows and things like that,
yeah, we go over the PA. We make sure that all the doors leading in and out of the school are secure. That's one of my jobs every day. Even if it's not a situation, I just make sure I do a perimeter check inside and outside of the school and make sure that everything's secure.
Sure, absolutely.
I like to say that our community, our schools, and our police department utilize a lot of technology, and which is a great benefit from us, from the town council, who allows us to get these things, because we're able to efficiently handle these situations or address these situations, and our officers are well equipped with radios, either through the school or through the police department, and other cameras and stuff throughout town that helps them do their job. So if they hear something even remotely near the schools, they're able to prepare and get ready in case something does come near the schools. So our officers in the school are very proactive in making sure that things are safe for the kids, just using this technology and stuff.
And then Officer Cooley did explain to me, he's got all this equipment on his vest there.
Yes.
It looked like he's ready to go. He does have his police radio.
Correct.
And he's monitoring that. He says he does have a school radio.
Correct.
He didn't bring that right now. And he's got the camera unit. You've got a taser.
Yes.
And a gun.
Yes. And I have a rifle at the school also, just in case.
In the vehicle.
Yes. No, it's actually in the school with me. It's secured. It's locked up in a secure locker.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's at hand. It's available.
Correct.
If you need to go get it.
Correct.
But it's secure.
Yes.
So I just couldn't go in your office
No.
and pick it up. And
No, sir.
No. Well, those are good questions,
Yes.
because things have changed. Our society is different.
Yes.
I mean, I remember as a young lad getting on an airplane, and you could go up and talk to the pilots and do this and handle all that. Well, we found out later on we can't do that anymore.
Correct.
Used to be you could have your family come with you right on down to the airplane and get on. And same thing with the schools now. You only have one entrance, and you want anybody to come in through the office area, check in, and we want to make sure our children and staff are safe.
Yes, sir.
That everything is good. So, what would you say your highlight of your responsibilities are? What do you enjoy the most about it?
The main thing I enjoy is just the interaction with the kids. It's never a dull day. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, they're basically coming from elementary school where they're, still very much dependent on the teachers and the staff like that. But then they get to middle school and you start to learn that, you have to be a little more independent. And all the way up to 8th grade when they're basically towards that end. And now they're going on to high school where, they're going to be even more independent. The main thing is just, like I said, making the kids feel comfortable. If they have any type of issues that they're dealing with, I try to listen to them first of all, because a lot of times they just want somebody to listen.
Sure.
And then if they, need some type of guidance, of course I'm there to give that to them, because, like I say, years of experience, not only as being in their shoes when I was a kid, but the years of growing up and also being a police officer, it all ties in. And I try to help them out the best I can. Sometimes I'll even say, well, let's see what you think, because sometimes the answer is right there. And if you give them the opportunity to process and reflect, then they'll figure it out. And then there you go. Even when it's a situation where, they're a little upset. The first thing, because the other day I had a young man he was just out on a playground, and it was just one of those incidents where one kid was running, the other kid was running, and they collided. And he was very upset because he was injured. And so the first thing I said was, all right, you okay? Take a couple deep breaths and let's relax before I took him through, because if I just kept him going, it probably would have just got worse. And he was able to calm down, tell me what happened, and I walked him into the nurse, and he was able to let her know what was going on. He was able to receive the aid that he needed. So it's just little things like that, just trying to help them, like I said, be safe, be comfortable, and grow as kids.
Sure, that's an important thing, because it's that transition period.
Correct.
And then they move on to high school.
Yes.
And we also have a resource officer there at the high school.
We do.
And we'll take just a second here. We do have some fundraising opportunities for folks coming in. I have this letter from Sergeant Greist, and this is talking about the National Night Out, which is August 5th of 2025. And as in the past, he does solicit contributions from those in the community that would like to donate, and they help acquire materials, maybe some of the offsetting, like we have the barrel train, or we have the blow-up
or prizes
and
gifts
things, and some things have a cost to it.
The little the magic show and all those other different special events he puts on.
Yes.
Right. So this is, the Choice Community Council is involved with this National Night Out, and we get very high ratings. I think last time we were number 2 in our category. Nationally recognized, and Officer Grace, Sergeant Grace, really does a terrific job. He's already at work doing this and getting it set up, and as soon as one is done, he is
never ends
planning for the next year.
Yes.
But those donations would be made to the check would be made out to the town of Munster, and in the memo section put in the National Night Out, and you can turn that check in at the department there, the police department, right in the lobby there. There's 2 really nice ladies that sit there and help folks as best they can with whatever they need to do with the police department. But anyway, I wanted to bring that up. We do have a golf outing coming up for the canines.
We do.
I don't remember the date.
They changed from last year.
But I think it's before the 4th of July, if I remember right. But anyway, we'll have that information for us, for you. But it's another event that you can participate in and or make donations, which is nice. It really helps. And the canines, I remember back before we had canines, and there was some discussion with having a dog or not having a dog, and it was decided that if the officers could raise the money to pay for a dog and pay for the maintenance on the dog, that we could get one.
Yes.
And it's been an extremely successful program. Most people in town know who Vader is and Sky is, and we have Lucy and Ozzy now, also, who are on patrol. And it's kind of a unique situation. We have our school resource officer in high school is also a canine officer with Sky, so the students every day in the schools get to see the dog. And I think she's way more popular than the rest of us. But,
well, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
We had planned on having a dog here today for the show, but it just scheduling and all that, it didn't work out. But we'll get them scheduled up here.
I think it's important for the community to come out to these events because they get to see us in a different way, and they get to meet the dogs for the canine. Well, they'll be at both, but it's just nice to interact with us in a different environment.
Absolutely, more casual.
Yes.
And the National Night Out is held in the evening, and it's going to be there again by the Munster Pool.
Correct.
And there's all kinds of room. I want to say last year Sergeant Grace had like 144 booths or something. It was
real close to that number, if that wasn't the number, yes.
So he worked to get up to 100, and then now he's blown past 100 and 144. It was really nice to see the different groups and clubs from the schools be there and have their little discussion. And I
think it's a great display of the great things that these clubs are doing in the school.
And then there's the general public and businesses. Everybody's invited. Set up and schedule it with Sergeant Greist. We have a food area. Oh boy, they got some good ribs and and barbecue going on over there, and cheeses, and just all kinds of, we have a lot of activities. I'm going to say there's so many activities that you can't get around in the evening, because you got the fire trucks there, the sergeants, the county,
the helicopter
brings the helicopter in, and that's a big event. We had another military helicopter do a flyby, and again, that's the National Night Out.
And also the fireworks.
And then it concludes with the fireworks. And it's a great show.
It is an awesome show, yes.
It's not like the show that Nellens puts on in his backyard. This is like big time. And
I'm sure yours is fun.
Well, I've just do fountains anymore, because you don't have to look up. You don't have that extra noise, and them fountains come firing out of those tubes, and no, that's too much for me. But anyway, yes, thanks for bringing that up. It is a great evening.
Yes.
And if we can get the weather to cooperate, it's a good time to be out, and there's a lot of folks come. There really is. And there's parking there at the high school and up around, and then there's parking there in Community Park. So we really enjoy that. Deputy Chief, what are you finding now, your new responsibilities or expanded responsibilities in your position?
Well, now I'm kind of in charge of a lot more things than I was before. I have some great lieutenants underneath me, so it's basically just checking to see what they need and provide them with the resources they need, because my main goal is to make sure that they are able to do their job as best they can. So Lieutenant Kohlschmidt in charge of patrol, Lieutenant Broman, who's in charge of our support services, which is like the schools and the cops unit and the CSOs. They have a lot of stuff going on, and my main goal is to make sure that they have the resources they need and the support they need. And we also can't thank the town council enough for all the support they've given us in a very short period of time. It was amazing with all the resources we got from you guys, and it just helps us do our job better.
Well, I just think we have a terrific police department and fire department, and we've added equipment, we've added additional staff. I think we have an outstanding chief with Steve Shekel, and there's a lot of involvement, community involvement, and really, I have the police department on our shows quite often because you do offer a lot of services, and we really haven't dug into the school resource officer position, and that's, people don't realize that's going on in the background.
Yes.
And helping, and there's eyes and ears there to help make sure things are going well. And if somebody comes to you and has a story, you're going to check it out, because you never know.
Correct.
Before we end, I want to say real quick, we recently had our on-site for our accreditation for CALIA. I think it's very important to recognize this, because it's something that very few agencies in the state of Indiana are part of, and we're very proud of all the hard work that we put into this, and to be as professional as we possibly can in the community. And Craig Corey, who is our accreditation manager, who took over from me, has taken the program and
taken the lead on it,
and he's done fantastic. The sky's the limit with the stuff that he can do. I just want to make sure I thank all the civilians that helped us with this. Paul Nellens did some interviews. Christina Irvin, George Shinkin, who's our president of town council, Mr. Nellens here, Tricia Abbott, who's our interim town manager and our comptroller, Steve Golombicki, who's on our safety board, and Jessica Moya, who was our assessor, who came here from Blacksburg PD in Virginia, did a fantastic job. I just want to make sure everybody was aware.
Appreciate that.
All the hard work.
The interview gal, Jessica Moya,
yeah,
she really did a nice job. I found out she's a captain.
Yes.
And a captain is higher than a lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it equals with a deputy chief, but she had a pretty high position and very, very...
She's very impressive, yes.
Impressive, and she knew what she was asking, and...
She couldn't speak highly enough of and commend the people who did the interviews in our department and our community here, as she met some people as she went around. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of everything that she mentioned. She mentioned a lot of great things.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Very thankful.
Well, it takes a whole village to raise a child.
That's right.
Yes.
And it takes all of us in the town of Munster to make it the best it can be. And I applaud the police department and again in the fire department Public Works for their direct involvement with what's happening in the community. If there's some sort of a problem, boom, they're right on it. There at Fisher and Calumet, we had an accident, knocked over the control box. We've got now the settlement to get that all taken care of.
That was a process, yes.
But it was put right back in. And again, things happen, but we've got the officers to be there. Now our staff is on sworn officers. The authorization is 50.
Correct.
And we're looking to fill that in. And we were talking earlier about the take-home vehicles now for the officers.
Yes.
So a vehicle is assigned. Officer Cooley has a vehicle. It has his things in there.
Correct.
And if something happens, we know whose vehicle that was. And he's there. I'm sure they're going to take much better care of it. We won't have nearly the hours and miles running on it. Deputy Chief Johnson has a vehicle.
Correct.
And you won't see this transfer anymore of equipment from the officers. Got it in their personal car, and then they put it in the vehicle, and then at the end of the shift, they got to switch it back and forth. It really makes a big difference, and I think it looks better. We've got a fleet. Anybody drives by the town hall, there's a fleet of police vehicles, and they're out in the community.
Yes.
And this way, too, if we have a situation that we need to bring them in from home, they're all set up. They got their uniforms at home, they got their vehicle, all the materials that they need on it.
Yeah, there's no guessing if what they need is there. They know exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
And the wear and tear on sharing cars is tremendous. So this is going to solve a lot of issues we're having.
And then there's no real clear-cut line as to whose vehicle is this.
Correct.
Everybody's pointing at somebody else because, I left it clean. I don't know how that, I don't know.
and one of the other huge advantages to having our own cars, especially with being a school resource officer, is a lot of times the kids will invite me to, say, one of their ball games or something like that. And also, I just recently, this past week, went to the Center Performing Arts because the kids were putting on a play with the Wilbur Wright Middle School Theater Company, and I'm able to bring my police truck with me to those events. And even if I'm not in full uniform, just having a police car there kind of is a deterrent if anybody wants to, as we say, not act in the Wilbur Wright way.
Yes, we want to act up a little bit.
Exactly. And so that's another huge benefit to having the squad, because like I said, I'm always going to events. Even at the high school, I'll go to their events, even though I'm assigned to the middle school. And just having that car there is a huge deterrent to anybody who wants to, perhaps do something that's not correct.
Right, and it puts some more vehicles on in town. And again, I feel good when I drive by the schools and I see that one of our vehicles is there.
Yes.
Then I know we've got an officer on duty and they're involved with the students, and that's really the key.
Yes.
That you want the students to be able to come to you and express if they got a concern or a problem over something, and then you can take that, evaluate it, and pass it on to another staff person that needs to be involved with it. So,
and that's also another thing because I know Officer Reimers has his car in front of the high school. Of course, I have mine in front of the middle school, and wherever Sergeant Grice is, because he has, I think, 5 schools he has to monitor.
Right.
His car is usually there. But there have been times where when people see that my squad is in front of the middle school, before they even make it to the police department, they'll come to the school because they know there's an officer there, and I'm able to assist them and, give them some type of guidance or call another officer over to help out. So even in that instance, it's beneficial.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of benefits.
Yes.
Our cooperation with the schools has been fantastic, especially the school resource officers and providing us whatever we need in the future here with helping us with our IT issues.
Right.
It's been a fantastic relationship.
Yes.
We talked about that there's going to be there is a joint venture now between the town of Munster and the school town, and the town of Munster has entered in an agreement to have the school town of Munster provide the IT services, and we will pay them instead of another outside contractor, and we're going to have a better interface. We've got servers and everything. We're sharing fiber. So and it's not like we're all eating Raisin Bran, but they've got the fiber backbone that goes through the town and that carries all the data,
Yes.
and it's important. And when the computers are down, it's a problem. It can affect the phones, the radios.
Well, we rely on so much technology. It's unbelievable these days. For the good or for the worse, we do. But this is just another great example of the town of Munster being ahead of the curve here with our partnership with the schools, with having a dog in our schools and stuff. We do a lot of things that are, I think, great.
Well, I think this has been a great show.
Yes.
We've gone into another version and segment of the police department, which is really what I want to do, showcase the department. And is there any last-minute things, closing statements?
Yes. If I could just mention that we have the Crime Watch meeting. It's going to be featuring the K-9 unit. It's going to be on Thursday, May 1st at 6:30 at the Town Hall. And also, this month we're encouraging the officers to wear the blue badges for autism awareness throughout the whole month of April.
All right. Well, I think this has been, again, a great show. I appreciate both of you coming, officers, and glad that we can showcase the Munster Police Department. So with that, we'll call this a wrap for the town of Munster. And everybody have a great day. We've got some good weather here, and take care.
You've been listening to the Town of Munster podcasts, coming to you from the JED TV studios on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. Thank you for listening.